Well, we didn't do too badly in the end, but can't say the same for America. Well, good morning everyone. We're up, we're nearly there. I'm wearing a rather oversized t-shirt saying that we should save the NHS. We're going to be heading to Cambridge to hopefully make contact with some aliens and not fuck everything up like last time. Okay, so we made it to Cambridge, and the table's over there, sort of shoved in the corner a bit with France, but oh well, we're going to have to cope because, you know, we're socialists and we like to be around other people rather than in our big high towers. And the game's going to start in a few minutes' time.
You should have credits in your dispatch boxes. And you'll need to assign them to the various three little boxes inside.
So I'm actually hoping to get us to AAA in the first term. Okay. Because it will make a lot of sense to me to just chuck all of this into the AAA, start the game, so round two we've got more results. That's my hope.
Classic Keynesian.
Now, with the aliens, that's...
I have. I've been an alien before, so
me too.
I have no idea from this.
Me too, and I was in the room that you're going to be in doing the missions. And I would very much like to do with the aliens is to observe first.
Observe first.
So even if they come to the UK, you just observe.
I want to do as much linguistic research as possible on them to find out.
We all do, because we
Yes.
want to communicate with them.
Well, and it would be great if we could be the first nation to communicate
Words.
world leaders, you know.
For me, that's the secondary objective behind getting to AAA in the first term. Because AAA in the first term is a bit more important.
Yeah. To be fair, in terms of the communication with the aliens, we already have other nations saying to me, okay, we'd be interested in you becoming involved in it, so they're probably going to initiate that summit thing first.
I suspect so, and as long as it doesn't create unrest, I'm happy with that.
It doesn't create unrest, no. We have to pay a bit, but oh well.
Surely we should be introducing the aliens to socialism.
If
Of course.
And I feel like I'm
if we can pay them in the second term when we've already got tons of economic bonus, then that's great.
Yeah, it depends if they do it literally straight away. In fact, I think it's the USA first, in the first turn.
Yes.
A couple of things have happened already which we're kind of trying to get into place with the plan. The fact is, we want to get AAA ASAP, so that's what we're going to be working on. And then in terms of communicating with the aliens, that's obviously something we're really interested in, but we've already had people come to us saying, okay, if you want to get involved in that, that's fine. So that sounds like they're going to be triggering that first. Now, USA is first in the summit, so they might do it, or it might be the team or the nation second that does it in the second turn. We're in the fourth turn, so it would probably be easiest for us to just pay something once we've got a decent budget to get involved with the alien communication. We've already had a couple of visits as well from the USA saying how nice they are. I've seen one of their Make America Great Again hats, so I don't think that election's going to last very long, to be fair.
I think a lot of your role will be dealing with unrest and rioters.
Any domestic ones, yes.
Yeah, so the strategy I'd like to take is negotiation where possible.
Well, currently,
We'll always talk before we get rifles out.
Of course, coordinating with NATO and all that. I'm hoping to get a accord to perhaps strengthen our presence in Eastern Europe against destabilising Russian influence.
Yeah. Personally, I'm not as worried about the Russian resistance. Have you played the Watch This Curse before?
But not with my partner.
Okay, I mean, from the one I played, the whole world stayed a bit different by the end anyway. So,
I would say our key concern with the Russians is to make sure that the aliens come with us and not with and don't go with them.
that's
Don't go with them.
our main thing is, I think, yeah, you're right, it's been so nice to the aliens that they come to us. Of course, what we don't know is what the aliens are for. And what I expect it to be, it's not going to be come in peace or come in war. They're going to have an objective which will put us into natural conflict, and there will be things they do that are awkward for us. And we're going to have to kind of weather it.
Come as a result of misunderstanding. Exactly, yes.
So we have to kind of weather it. What I do know is last time our actions would cause massive unrest that we didn't even know. And when the players said, and we turned out later in the game, we could just remove the unrest. We could just go down the board, take it off. We had no idea we could do this. We didn't even know we were pausing it.
But you could just go, is that just you abduct the rioters?
Oh, they were apparently following, they were trying to follow our way.
Critical engineering.
Okay.
And we didn't know that that's the effect we were having. So what we were able to do was go to the people that had been nice to us and get rid of the writers.
Okay, so as Foreign Minister, my main role is to go to the summits. We've had our first summit. It was not quite as expected, but it's good because we've rolled out a program to help protect refugees. There was a unanimous agreement, which means that the person who ever holds the refugee badge and thing gets to remove unrest over the course of the entire game. The bad news is this was given to the US, which I feared they might do as part of their first move. But, you know, there's room for negotiation. If they do anything remotely funny, then I'll definitely be having rather harsh words with them.
Is where I investigated and the aliens left. Greenland, both parts of Canada, the Russian Ural region, East Kazakhstan, Mauritania, Argentina, Chile, Peru, Bolivia and Argentina have all got the greens, and Central US, Alaska, Mexico, DRC, Uganda, Kenya, Tanzania, Mozambique, Zimbabwe, South Africa, Angola, Indonesia, Western Australia and Eastern Australia have all got the purples.
So basically bloody everything, so I can't write all that, that's keep an eye on it. Okay.
Very well, I can give you that.
Well, notably no European.
Okay, so that's going on.
Chat left turn allergic. So who was that one?
Okay, so what we want is all the cards with the on. So on the first turn, our Director of Intelligence, he managed to get absolutely nothing in terms of artifacts, but he did know who had them, and I was able to sell that information to one of the corporations for a credit, which I was then able to put into research and get researchy things for my military purse. Kept him happy anyway. At the start of the game, our military man was determined it was going to be a really big military game and was wanting to build bases and put pressure on Russia and stuff. And so I had this rumour that NATO wanted to put a military base in southern Europe, and it was apparently an American idea. The American president said, no, I heard it came from you. So he confronted my chief of defence, and it came from him. Betrayer. So, had to put him back in line. Anyway, now he's getting research credits, he's happy. Anyway, I now have a fist full of artifacts. Tried to send a mission, a top secret mission, into an alien base, but they're just kind of ignoring us. These aliens are flying around, seeming it's two factions we think, and we think they're having a war. Anyway, I've got this fist full of artifacts, even some quite good ones. I'll try and turn them into a fusion reactor to reverse climate change. Don't know if that'll work yet, but that is my goal. And I want, by the end of today, the world's climate issues to have been solved. And no unrest in UK because we're nice people. Anyway, we are trying to crack the alien language. We think there's more than one. There are certainly two factions. So I've been hosting this language conference. Only the Chinese came over so far, and the French for a little bit. Next time it looks like the Americans are coming in on it as well. The Indians, however, have bankrupted themselves, spending all their money on trying to crack the alien language, and now refuse to come to the language cracking conference unless we pay them. Fuck them.
Okay, so it's now lunch. I'm taking the time out, frankly, because at the minute I'm a little bit fussed about what's actually going on. But the UK are doing well with cracking this code that the aliens have been sending to us, as have a few other countries. And what we're doing at the minute is we're now actually sharing this around. We've sort of been doing that anyway over time, but in terms of actually getting all together and actually cracking the damn thing, it's great. And There's 2 languages as well, which is making it doubly hard. Other updates are that there are now giant brains in Mexico. I think they're actually starting to spread. There was the pressure of it going public, to which I said no because I was chairing the summit at the time. But in the end, we didn't actually get time to put an actual proposal into place. And we're just sort of carrying on. There is some growing unrest as well, which I'll show you. But hopefully, by cracking the code, we can now actually speak to the aliens in 1 syllable or syllabic words. So we're basically being super nice to them, and we've got some bribes as well to give them very, very soon.
Hi. So we're just translating the alien language and trying to send a message up to the aliens. Japan's annoyed. Russia, who were telling us, oh, we've nearly cracked it, are now panicking because they've only got one translation.
Why Japan annoyed?
Sorry?
Why Japan annoyed?
They said they weren't invited when I did speak to everyone in the hall to come, so it's their own issue for not being there at the time.
If you see an alien with a badge like that, you can hold it up.
Okay.
So for the other language, do we need to translate the other language? Okay.
Yes, you've got that.
Right.
No, we haven't got very far on the other language.
I don't know. We think that's a great question.
So you got the weapon thing.
We did.
What did you translate the weapon thing as? We translated the weapon thing as Jinka.
Not that. That's not. We did not translate it.
Okay, what did you translate it as?
Well, I'll tell you, but let's get our person over there.
Okay. Yeah. Sounds like a good plan.
We've been doing things in Mexico. Huh? We've been doing things in Mexico. We haven't been doing things in Mexico. The Chief of Defence is telling me that we haven't been doing anything in Mexico. So I think this is fake news.
The intel services are linked to what the intel says. It's not your responsibility. So the covert units are operating on the US border.
Because they marched.
Russia and France are at each other's throats. Basically, France did an operation in Kazakhstan. So France did this operation in Kazakhstan. Britain went in to observe. We both got a fistful of artifacts. Russia's furious over this. But see, the thing is, this was a sudden change of how the intelligence guys have been working. It's just Russia's jealous because of a huge stack of things, so they're trying to make a big incident out of it. And it's like, fuck off.
So I'm munching a sausage roll because very British. So last summit was okay. Russia are a bit pissed off with us and France, but it's for the good of the country and for the good of the world as to what we're doing at the minute and why we're not sharing an artifact. We're not sharing an artifact because we've almost cracked climate change and we can reverse it. That's why we're not giving shit out. On the other hand, there was some kind of trade deal done by France. We weren't bothered because we're fine and we can recover if needs be. Japan was keen to go public with the news that aliens have landed. Again, because of the whole climate change thing. We didn't want that to happen. We can't stop it, but we're not held responsible for it. If they do hold us responsible, I'll be so pissed off. So hopefully they'll keep to their word on that. And then we won't be pissed off with them, and then we won't be teetering on war and things like that. So let's see.
We do have striking distance with missiles actually. So it's not completely out of our hands.
It's not that all the way.
I know, I'm worried about what they're what, Icelandic?
The base. The Icelanders.
All PMs are gathered on the stage, so it looks like an announcement's going to be made very shortly.
People of Earth, we are here to announce that we have found, and there are, aliens.
Gas. Panic!
We are in communication with them. We have coordinated a global intelligence network with all major powers to better communicate with them. And we are confident that their presence will foster a great new age, a universal community, and incredible technical advancement. Thank you.
Are you actually going to Iceland? No. Oh, thank you. No, we want to know why you're here. I want to know what you're hoping to achieve. Because we just have questions. Yeah. We don't really have any answers.
Meet you in Iceland. Yeah, basically.
Me personally. Oh, you can meet me here. Why would you be interested in establishing an embassy?
No confrontation, passive observation, electromagnetic spectrum.
We'll discuss.
Scanning nothing.
Because we'd like to know what it is you're hoping to do.
Yeah, if you choose to do that, obviously have a word with the
you're having an impact on the world. We appreciate there's another faction of aliens who we're not currently going to be at the meeting, so am I right in understanding that?
Okay, it is team time. Team time, the end of turn.
Little team air circulation.
And suddenly the UK steps in because we have something else to announce.
Hey, team time, everybody, back to your tables, please.
That was an alien we were speaking to. Oh my god. Looks like they want something from us. We'll have to discuss it. So quick summary as it goes into the next turn. I'm going to basically go to the summit on my own business and just pretend that nothing else has happened. In the meantime, we can now speak to the Green Aliens, and there is going to be a meeting which all the heads of state are going to apparently attend. And then the Reds, we can send notes, but we can't talk to them specifically. So there's all that. So we also may have a future
There were two alien factions. Russia, India and Japan have made contact with one. France, America and China have made contact with another. The alien factions are at war and they're churning up our planet with hydrocarbons, fossil fuels, fuel, oil, that kind of stuff. We have just created the first working fusion reactor in the UK. We're going to offer them, the aliens, this technology in order to leave our hydrocarbons alone, because it's just going to wreck our planet. So, by giving them that technology, hopefully they'll have a severe advantage over the other ones, backed by China, India, Russia, India and Japan. So hopefully that will resolve the alien war and save the planet.
Okay, so turn 7 at the summit, and we have an alien who has agreed to come and speak to us. As to which one it is, I'm not entirely sure. I have a hunch, but we'll see.
Yeah, the Turks will let you through.
Possibly.
Actually, no. Yeah, seriously. If you're carrying us there, you can do anything. Is it? Yeah. That's the same sea zone.
Yeah.
So it is coastal. Yeah. I'd love to kill
Hi. It's nearly break time. We're in the middle of round 7. In fact, I think they're saying something in there now. It's going to be a break. But yeah, so shit's gone down. We've declared war on the aliens, and we've managed to isolate them to 4 different places, so hopefully, fingers crossed.
Nukes.
Nookie nukes. Interestingly, we almost considered the moon, and I was like, that would be so funny compared to the last Arrival game. But there we go. So, why don't you say something, Prime Minister?
It pains
How's the
me.
game gone?
Well, look, the aliens don't. We're just fuel to them. They're not open to negotiations. All they care about is war. At first they were saying war with each other, but now they've declared peace so they can eradicate the humans first.
Yeah.
The Iceland Prime Minister's a bastard.
Really?
I wanted to nuke the base. He didn't let me.
Oh. Oh no.
I was tempted to do it anyway, but
Poor UK.
I thought I'd wait for their knowing where they all went and stuff, and then make it happen. So we'll see if they do relocate.
We'll see. It depends.
They get nuked.
Because it could be that we only have like one more round, or it might carry on for a little bit. We'll see.
What else has happened? And to top it all, the UK has declared war on the aliens. Yes.
They've been spouting rhetoric for the majority of the summit saying, oh, the Greens are so bad and whatever, they're all as bad as each other.
Yeah, I mean, I'm inclined to agree, but I feel maybe you should have negotiated to us as well. Well, I presume you did, but...
Well, yeah, we all talked to the aliens at the summits, and the US was there, so...
Okay. What's going down like that? Mission for their building bases. Reds and or greens seem to be
if troops of any other nation were to get involved.
We'd ask, this is on mechanical level, counting Australia. I'd ask Australia for...
Oh, yeah, so on a purely, yes, you could. I mean,
I just want to know whether mechanically they can do it without a military base being there.
Yes, as long as you have military, then that's the
perfect.
But if you did
now I'll get other people to talk to you about whether you want us to do that. Whether you do it yourself.
Have you seen that there's more races in America? We changed to be careful. Okay. There's more races.
rather different as a Russian army versus a giant dinosaur.
Do you have more declarations? Generic declarations?
So, but like, we signed a peace agreement when there were like 5 alien races in the...
Yeah, but if the players didn't know...
Yeah, but... Like, we have signed a peace agreement in which they have agreed to retreat to their bases. However, they have these things to do. So if you've got the first version, these are our bases, those are theirs. Right.
So, what would you expect?
That one.
You'll notice that
we also can't move the dinosaur, it doesn't have legs.
I was at movement 0 and it can move the legs. That's hilarious. The dinosaur is going to thrash around it.
One extra thing as well is that we've basically agreed to do an espionage, potentially with France. I think they're still discussing it. They might have agreed to it, I'm not entirely sure. But essentially so we can sneak in tactical nukes and just get rid of the Reds, because, seriously, so we're going to try everything, but we've got the sneaky as well. So we'll see if this is going to be the last round of the game.
So a communication issue amongst the aliens ops players meant that operatives didn't know that the aliens had agreed to peace, and their players were basically carrying on. So there was an emergency summit. The world leaders were like, "Do we nuke? You know, are we fighting?" Officially, the UK is at a state of war. Tempted to end it. I will end that state of war without having fired a nuke if aliens do keep their word. As far as we can tell, the communication issues are cleared up, so just wait to see what they do. And if they follow the agreement, then we will end the war.
It's a chemical factory as well. A mix between an intake and a chemical factory. You could see the bits of human animals being taken and automatically skin stuff being humans. No. Or what's that? No, probably native.
Okay.
But mostly just mammals. Things you find in the zoo. They're extracting stuff, and then they're going through big, highly controlled vats. Lots of little insectoid creatures running around. They don't seem to be that intelligent. Right, almost like little drones.
Little worker drones.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, and for Iceland, it's quite cold inside the place this time.
Quite warm inside. I mean, you know, it is underground. You know, there's volcanic activity and so on.
Yep.
Okay, we shall bear that in mind.
And sort of landing pads for various craft coming and going as well.
Craft coming and going. Okay, that's massive.
Yep. It's a very busy place.
It's a very busy place. Okay. Well, thank you very much.
Yep. You're welcome.
Puzzling.
Go on.
Well, we were under the impression that those bases were being decommissioned, so
the fact that there is pardon the pun, a hive of activity occurring seems a little at odds with what we've been told by our friends in the amongst the I can't remember the names, the Lijar, I'm going to say. I can't remember the name. Yes, it's at odds with what we've been told, so I'm a little concerned about this discrepancy, shall we say.
The world is getting ready for war, but it's non-nuclear at the moment. I might have done something in Iceland, we'll find out. There's plans in motion. They might involve a small one, you know, a little tiny little bomb. We'll see. Because I gave instructions that we got information that the aliens have reached the treaty in Iceland. So I kind of said, see if it's dismantling the base as they agreed, or if they're doing stuff still, because if they're doing stuff, we blow it up and stuff. So that might have been agreed. Anyway, the aliens is now sinking the bases so we can't nuke them. So we're going to war. The other countries don't want nukes involved yet. But I'm most keen about getting rid of the bases near us. So we're leaving the one in France for the French, and we're helping the Spanish remove theirs using conventional forces. And when I say conventional, we've developed high technology robots and all sorts of stuff to try and, see if we just get some shield busting. Anyway, we're going into the one in Spain, and we're going to try and remove it.
So last turn was mostly giggles at the summit, basically because while we had our sort of thing about doing nukes, in the end it was Israel who nuked a giant dinosaur on the way through Russia that was like stampeding all over everything, so that was hilarious. But also, interestingly, Russia invaded Australia in order to get rid of the aliens, to which we were like, what are you doing? That's funny. Okay, so something's definitely happening on the map. I don't quite know what, something to do with America, but yeah, as Becky said, we're getting ready for war with the aliens. Fortunately, we managed to sort of not conflict anything anyway. I managed to get away with saying, oh yeah, there's no nukes. We haven't got the resources and whatever, so, which is only partially true, but there we go. And basically, everybody's now preparing for war against the aliens because they're just not leaving us alone, and we've said many times, just leave and you're protecting us, but they're all like, oh, we have to protect you from the other one. So there's obviously something else in there that they want, or that they need. I'm pretty tired. It's quite hot in here, but fortunately I'm not upstairs like last time. That must be an absolute oven. But yeah, it's been really fun. I think maybe we've got 1 or 2 more turns to go, and that's it. So we'll see what happens.
What happens when you can't read a nuclear launch?
You roll a dice.
Self-destruct. Mexico, alien base.
We nuked the bases. The entire continental US got the bases there, aside from Alaska and East Canada.
So just so many nukes just went off. So Darren's now turning the map into a wasteland. So basically, we've reached the end of the game. We'll be able to hear the full conclusion in a few minutes. We were going to build some kind of international space station to try and research technology. People were thinking, oh yeah, we could get the aliens off, because the aliens were saying, oh, we can't get off because not enough technology, which I thought was bullshit. But we couldn't do it in the end because apparently it's now finished. Due to so many nukes. Spain, we nuked Spain, Iceland, US nuked itself, which was amazing, and Argentina as well, and a couple of places were nuked, so yeah, the game kind of had to end at that point, so yeah, I'm going to switch it over to Darren and the people announcing in a minute, and hopefully we'll get a bit of an idea about what was actually supposed to happen in the end.
How are we doing, guys?
We don't know yet.
Nuclear! It's one very happy Frenchman. And where did you nuke today?
South Africa.
No, we nuked South Africa, you nuked
You also
Libya.
nuked, no, we nuked South Africa as well.
Oh,
we nuked
right.
Libya, South Africa, and...
Libya.
South America.
Okay, we should have coordinated. I feel like we might have overkilled some of these nukes.
There is no overkill when you're eating desserts.
Right, it's about time we heard from our would-be alien overlord, so I will hand you over very briefly to the leader of the Katsat team.
Well. I tried my very best. I got shot, I got nuked, I got kicked in the teeth. I never told a lie. We never attacked any of your units, and these guys did want to wipe you out. That was absolutely true. Technically, we wanted to wipe you out as well, but we were going to wipe out them and then wipe you out. So, you know, semantics.
That is not what you told us.
No, well, that was a command level decision. Yeah, we were genuinely just trying to come here for your resources. We didn't want to kill you. We didn't really care, to be honest. We just wanted the territory. And yeah, we had a strategic location in this area, and that was all we really cared about. And you nuked us, which was very nice of you. 6 times. The good news is, however, we are machine-based life forms, so we don't care about radiation. So we still get the plan. So yeah, cool. Thanks for that.
We're going to send you the invoice.
Cool. What is this money?
So it's exactly the same for our alienation. We just hated them, which made the Jalinka, which made discussions very difficult. Halfway through, we thought, well, yeah, let's go along with this plan. I mean, it was a lie. We all knew that it wasn't going to go right. At which point I thought, well, maybe the more we can do to get them launching nukes, the more that basically just wipes them out, and that's that problem gone. And then we concentrate on you. So that's what we did. We destroyed our own bases. And then they started getting nuked. Job done. For everybody else, I think it was fun with the synth forms. We only destroyed humans because they got in the way of the synths as they wandered through Europe and Russia. No, it's good fun. Good day.
Great. Thank you. Okay, if I was in this game world, I would probably be very keen to live in China, which was virtually unscathed. So somebody from the China team, would you like to give a quick recap? Anyone?
Yep. I think that's probably me. Yeah, we love China, we love stability, and everyone should stay out of China unless we invite you in. And if you come in without being invited in, we will kill you, a lot, with prejudice. I think we managed to keep the economy under control. Our foreign minister managed to spin me into being the commander of the defence of Earth somehow, which was a bit of a shock. Hey, we were fine until people started nuking stuff. At least that was my perspective.
We were so peaceful, absolutely shocked at how aggressive the rest of the world is, particularly you Western powers.
Shocked. The intelligence board got out of control a little bit, which no one could see, but it was basically a swarm of alien influence and alien tokens all over the place by about turn 6. At which point, I think France and the UK had finally given up on their pacifistic approaches and we got to kill stuff. And then we started making progress. And that was when China started to have actual wealth and do stuff. But mostly we just stuck to ourselves, kept things quiet, kept our economy up, and we killed anyone who looked at us funny.
Okay, India, who desperately wanted to go to war on the last turn.
So most of the game was just about scrapping for economic survival in India, which we did a little bit, and then didn't. Towards the end of the game, it started to plummet. The proudest moment was probably when our international summit was we were chair of the international summit whenever the peace negotiation for the retreat of the alien forces was originally discussed, but that didn't last very long. We were proud to say that we did not use any nuclear weapons throughout the game.
So, as Russia, we have a few aims at the start of the day. Elevate Mother Russia in the global economy. I think next turn we would have been up into AAA status, so check. Humiliate America. I think they did that a lot themselves by taking over Trump. But it's currently a wasteland, so I'm not entirely sure there's much left to humiliate. And and nab some of the Baltic states. And I've just been told they've left NATO, so it's going to be a few years away, but check. So it's all gone well for Russia.
Right, and Japan, another peaceful and pleasant place of the world to live.
Hey, so we came into this game as an economic powerhouse. We're leaving this game as an economic powerhouse with giant mechs and defector through America. I'm calling this a win.
Okay, the US of A. Well, what's left?
So the first start of the game was half was trying to keep our economics up and avoid the riots as these giant aliens walked back and forth between Mexico and Canada to fight each other, and there wasn't really anything we could do in between. With the result that when the world finally declared war and it was time to liberate the White House, I had to persuade France to contribute a few token troops to the NATO effort and Great Britain to contribute a few token troops to the NATO effort to hide the fact that there weren't any American troops left. After that, we did what needed to be done. Ultimately, the aliens weren't agreeing to their treaty. There were alien bases on our soil. We drew a line in the sand, and we are proud to say that America is now alien base free.
USA!
USA! USA!
Thank you. Alright, European table. So, France.
Alrighty. So, first half of the game, we were pursuing research. We eventually got to the research with some help from pretty much all the other nations that allowed us to attack the alien bases. Pretty much halfway through the game, we switched our tactic once there was that peace treaty going on that forced the aliens to retreat to certain bases. To coincide with that, we wanted to nuke those bases, so we're trying to get the aliens to go back and then nuke them all in one place, which would be quite effective. Yeah, and then it pretty much just broke out into all-out war. I think we did get a little bit itchy at the end. The launch button was looking too tasty, so I did a few.
Thank you. UK.
So the UK started the game with the election of a Jeremy Corbyn government, and the military establishment, we were immediately a bit concerned. Over the course of the game, we were making preparations for a military coup just in case the government continued with their negotiate with the aliens strategy instead of fighting them off. But from about turn 4 or 5, suddenly, I don't know what happened, but the Prime Minister was saying, no, kill the aliens. No, do it now.
It's literally the turn where we kind of leaked to the, well, you leaked to the press about the Defence Department problems, wasn't it?
Well, exactly, yes. The defence was annoyed there wasn't enough spending, we were annoyed there wasn't enough defence spending, and yes, we were the first to translate the alien languages as far as we know, so we were doing our best to keep on keeping with both alien sides, and then at the end just got a bit trigger happy. It was one little tiny nuke down a hole. It was subterranean. It was fine. Yeah, we had some kamikaze SAS troops who went down a hole in South Africa and set off a nuke, and then we also nuked Iceland and Spain, which they weren't too happy about.
Didn't nuke Iceland. We didn't nuke Iceland.
Oh, right, okay.
We invaded Iceland.
Oh, we invaded Iceland. I'm sorry.
There's a big difference.
Yeah. So we did telephone them first. We told them we were going to do it, because that makes it all better.
Great, thank you. Alright, we were the first to translate the alien language. I bet every nation says that.
What's the word for push?
I'll look that up in my alien dictionary. Right, okay, over to the corporations, the hard-working people who gave you all that technology to destroy the world. So, first of all, we have, got to be careful how I say this. Norfolk and Wales. Yeah, sit very carefully. Yeah.
Well, as a thriving defence multinational, we were proud to take our part in the defence of the Earth, particularly our research into interceptors, various kinds of technology we could use to enhance that. We had hoped to step into robotics, but with the move to a multi-government, multi-corporate, cooperative force, we thought it was best to stick with what we knew and push ahead. So under the corporate umbrella of our umbrella corporation, we very quickly took technology viral and gave the world the tools to rage on the aliens.
And the really friendly comment. Were they really friendly? Yeah, okay.
Not so convinced. Why would we not be? It was in the name.
Right, who wants to? Here we go.
So as I think everyone's sort of aware, there was a bit of a drought of technology right at the beginning, and then there was a sudden point about turn 4 or 5 where suddenly everything just came together. Suddenly technology everywhere, everything develops. At which point the world map kind of started getting it strange. Suddenly everyone was leaving America. Suddenly, yeah, but from the powerhouse of China, with their great support from them, we've continued to grow into a thriving multinational defence corporation. Oh,
Don't forget our illegal fusion reactor that we installed without China's consent.
Sorry.
Great, thank you. And last but not least, it's Monarch Securities. Is that how you say it?
Yes.
Yeah. Monarch. Right, there you go.
We started off with a lot of early support from Japan, so thank you very much. And we focused most of our research attention on technology to get through the alien base shields, which was a great help to everyone, we hope. And after that, we started working on building mechs. And we sold them to a few people, and after that we thought, well, what more can we do with them? So we thought we'd stick them all together, and we have a big giant mech design available, which currently resides in Japan, and we will defend our home nation with it, but after that, who knows, maybe we'll build some more.
Maybe, of course you'll build more. Right, and while everybody else was worried about aliens, of course the corporations were worried about their share price. So a quick summary of the share price game from Chris.
All right, so I'm sure you're all curious to know who won, but first I have to comment on the beautiful buildings that you poured so much money in. You talk about how your main thing you're investing in was military. No, not it was those buildings. The main thing you invest in, which only had the mechanic of making it easier for move from one place to another, and everything else was just pure glory. Anyway, so Norfolk Corporation ended up with a share price of $7.50, Friendly at $7.80, and Monarch at $7.80. It is a tie.
Networked individuals over there. They've all got massive amounts of shares in their own company, of course. Okay, brilliant. Thank you. Right, that was a summary of the game. Now, quick round of applause for the hard-working control team. So, upstairs, you didn't see much of it. Bob was looking after the aliens. James on the map. So it's got nuked to high heaven. Doug, you didn't see much of Doug either. He was working the operations really much there. Chris, who felt he just couldn't do one control role, he had to do two. He was doing NPC and corporation. Caroline, giving out all that text, getting the knowledge off there. And Jonathan, who's actually worked himself so hard he's had to lie down. For a long lie down. And Jerry, who was taking off the meetings and looking after them all the time. Okay, and I didn't do much apart from stand around and have a quick look. So I really enjoyed watching the game develop, and it was all these other guys keeping it going.
So there you have it, another mega game, and we actually didn't do too badly on the whole, wouldn't you say?
I'd call it a no-score draw. We didn't get invaded, we didn't get hammered. Our credit rating is about where it was, slightly.
Yeah, it went down and then it went back up again, it was okay, and we got a few nations that got pissed off with us, but apart from that, there wasn't anything major that damaged us physically or our reputation or anything like that. So
I have to say though, in the long term, I think the UK would be in trouble because NATO,
yeah,
without America.
True, yeah.
To the point, in the last turn, the Americans needed to send some troops into some alien bases to make sure if they were empty or not, and they actually had no army left. Like, no army.
Really?
Yeah, we did it with the French. They said, could NATO do this? Because they had nothing.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, the US then decided to nuke itself. Do you know how that came about?
Well, they had all these alien bases and they wanted to clear them. So the only part of America that wasn't nuked by America was the eastern shoreline.
I see. Hello, Kitty.
Oh, hi, Kitty.
Do you want to join in?
There's a little bit of America. They didn't nuke the White House.
No, I heard some victory there as well. A couple of turns beforehand.
Okay.
But I don't know what the basis was or anything like that. It was definitely still a game where I was losing track and there were rumours being spread and stuff like that.
Mostly against us.
Yeah.
Mostly by the Russians.
Yeah. Yeah, the Russians really didn't like us for a lot of the game.
They got upset over the Kazakhstan situation.
They did, and they decided to tell me about it as well. And then they started saying, oh yes, we were going to nuke Australia or something like that.
That was a rumour spread, I believe, by Russia.
Yes, quite possibly. But on the whole, since we're playing different...
I was going to invade it.
Well, yes. But that's that. Yeah, it's still running. So, because we were playing different roles from last time, since obviously last time in the equivalent game we were the aliens, what did you think of your role as president? Sorry, Prime Minister even.
I much preferred being Prime Minister to being on the alien fleet controller last time. There was more to do, and I got to see more of the game, which was really my big complaint about being the fleet operator. I never got to see what was happening. I was just moving some ships and I didn't understand why, and it frustrated me when I found out that the resources I was creating, instead of making more ships, were being given to the enemy to kill us, and we had that disconnect last time.
Yeah.
This time, I got to see the whole game. Turn 4, I realised the aliens were there to not exterminate us directly, but as a consequence of their own interests. They didn't care about us. So on turn 4, UK declared war on the aliens. It took until turn 8, was it?
Something
9?
like that.
Right, the last turn of the game, other countries finally declared war on the aliens and started sending nukes. By then it was too late.
Am I right that none of our military spending was actually going into the war? When we declared war, I mean.
What happened when was it the Chinese or the Japanese that announced the...
The Japanese announced the aliens to the public, yes. Yeah.
After that, our economy collapsed, so at that point, all of our money had to go into sustaining our economy. And I even threw in all my popular support as well, just to keep the economy where it was. So effectively, the economy was useless. What I did manage to do, the artifact cards we were getting, I managed to turn them into units. So we had interceptors, we had mechs by the end, but honestly our interceptors were a bit rubbish. I don't know how good the mechs were.
I have no idea.
So, but it was the best I could get with what little we had. See, the economy crashed, and yet Japan seemed to recover. It didn't matter to them that there were aliens for some reason.
They were fine.
But we weren't. We were getting hammered. So I saved the economy in essence. We at the start of the game we worked up to AAA credit rating. We then got the hammering all the way down to C, I think, and we ended the game on single A.
Yeah.
So, you know, we did okay as socialists, but we did get units in the field. But the problem was the rest of the world didn't come to war with us. And they left it too long, and they were so saying, the alien peace treaty, the alien, we've solved the alien war. It's like, you bloody haven't. They do not give a damn about us.
The main problem that seemed to arise with the summits is that there was people taking sides with different aliens, and they just never thought, we should destroy both races. It should be like, we should side with one of these, or this race must be fine because the other one are being really aggressive. And I just couldn't really turn them, because every time I even mentioned something, they'd be like, what are you doing?
My thoughts on the aliens turned out to be, pretty much accurate. Well, no, not pretty much. They were accurate.
They were accurate.
I spoke to them at the pub afterwards, and basically there were two factions. One was, we're going to focus on killing the other aliens first, then we'll kill the humans. And the other one was, we're going to kill the other alien faction, and then we'll kill any humans in our way. Yeah. There really was no hope for humanity except to attack when everyone else was going, alien peace treaty. And the thing is, I could see I wasn't going to win that diplomatically, so I didn't try.
So thanks so much for watching if you got this far to the end of the video for our third mega game, and please feel free to like, subscribe down below, and please comment. Let us know what you think, give us some feedback, and tell us if you've ever been to a mega game before. And of course, we'll see you guys in the next video. Bye bye.
Yeah, that should do it. We'll get loads of subscribers. Why are you looking at me like that? I'm just saying, like, you know, you have to ask people to, like, come and subscribe, and then you, like, suddenly get really successful and rich on YouTube. That's what happens. That's why all the channels do it at the end of their videos. That's why all the channels are really massive. We always forget, and we're not massive.
But I remembered.
I know, it's amazing. This is it. This is our launch. Okay, bye, everyone.